it out and keeping your GI tract in a healthy way so your breath is fresh and your food gets digested a lot better and it gets absorbed a lot better.
So you obviously do your own colonics.
I do my own colonics. I don't really need them very much anymore because the way I live real smart. But there was a time when I was just as addicted to food as anybody else, gourmet, raw, or whatever, like too much mixing. And if you want to get to the highest levels, you got to simplify your diet. Like the way I live is way further than I would even be able to suggest for most people. I will go into that soon, but it's like I eat one thing at a time for the most part, and then maybe in the evening is when I'll mix some lettuce with some on a nori wrap and dip that in like lemon juice with olive oil or something like that. That's as busy as it gets for me, like 4 or 5 things mixed up. But I eat, like yesterday my diet was soursop and dragon fruit for lunch, and then I came home and had a pineapple party for a little snack, and then I had some lettuce with cucumber wrapped in a nori wrap, dipped in tomato and basil sauce. So just simple, basic, raw, living food that cleans your system out, that keeps it. What happens is with the raw foods, you absorb the living water, you absorb the living nutrition, which feeds the blood, feeds the glands. It's the minerals that feed the glands, which allow you to have healthy hormones, which keeps you from getting man boobs, and it keeps your testosterone high, so you have confidence. And when you have that high testosterone and confidence, you're like, wait a minute, this job sucks. I'm going to go get another one. Instead of feeling kind of a little bit suppressed in your strength, you don't feel confident, and you're like, I'm stuck in this job or whatever. And so that's why I want you to work on those hormones by, getting out and exercising more, maybe hitting the gym a couple times a week. But I really feel like the love potion and the endurance powder, that's what got me. Like I noticed it within 24 hours. The endurance powder was one of the first things I did when I got here. And I was like ashwagandha, and I was like, oh yeah, I need that. I started taking that, and I noticed it within 24 hours. A certain type of vigorousness came to me. I went politically correct on a video before and said a little too much, but I'm just saying, like, vigorousness, going to sleep vigorous and waking up vigorous. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then I was like, wow, that's good stuff. And I went a little too heavy on it, and it was a little too much. So then I backed off for a few days, and now what I've got is a nice steady flow where I'll take maybe half of a tablespoon a day in the morning. And that way I don't take the endurance powder or the love potion at night. I take it in the day and let those herbs go into my bloodstream and feed my glands and tone me up and give me that strength and energy and masculine power and balanced hormones. So it'll help the women too. The women aren't gonna like start producing too much testosterone, you know what I mean? It's gonna regulate and balance your hormones. And it also it's an adaptogen, the ashwagandha, as well as the tulsi and all the other herbs that are in the formula. It tonifies your adrenal glands, which most people have burnout. And there's some other beneficial properties to the herbs as well, like the lungs, the adrenals, the thyroid, and that type of thing. But these herbs and foods are just nourishing. And I will tell you that beans and rice, they're like filling, but are they really nourishing at the level of electrical water, electrical minerals, electrical vitamins, electrical enzymes, electrical fiber? It's like living life force. See, Gary, we are living beings, and every cell in our body should be alive. It's always not. There's a lot of dead tissues in people, fibrotic, sclerotic, indurated tissues, and also just like tumors and things like that. But that's why we alkalize, and that's one of the beauties of like the teas. It alkalinizes and starts breaking up the toxins and the mucoid plaque, which is causing you to be overweight and causing the inhibition of cellular respiration, nutrient delivery, mineral and enzyme function, to where you're like an electrical being, like I was saying, Peter Pan, and your mind wakes up like, I'm just saying, like, I'm able to finally live better because I'm honoring myself in a way that I would like you to honor yourself, Gary, and ask yourself, like, what's really best for me, instead of like, what are my obligations to the world? Like, what would make me the most happiest? What's the best way to live? It's like, I simply cannot text back and call back and answer all the emails to everyone anymore and have a good lifestyle. Like, I spend a little time this morning, but then I just put the phone down, I put the computer down, and I don't text back all my friends and call everyone back, because that really disrupts my lifestyle. And that's something I did for years. And it was like I was on the damn phone all day, on the computer, living in a lifestyle of obligation and stress. And my adrenals got burned out. When I got here, the island started changing my mind. I had planted the foundations to live free and honor myself, because with the technology and with the constant onslaught of everything, there's a lot of stress. And then we use the sedating foods to deal with that. So we're hitting the food trip, but we're also hitting the underlying cause, which is an excessive amount of stress and a lack of truly honoring ourselves and saying to ourselves in each moment, what's the best thing for me to do right now to be happy and feel free? What do I love to do? So you start honoring yourself, because you can't keep up with the demands of the world. No one can, and I tried to do that for a long time. And now I'm just like, you're not guilty if you don't write every single person back that writes to you online. And that's not the biggest problem. It's like my friends and stuff texting me. I might go 2, 3, 4 days before I text them back, and they're like, I'm pissed off at you. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I have 37 people to text back, and if I text them back, they're going to text me back again, and I got to text them back, and I spend 2 hours a day texting people when I should be at the beach meditating, or at the yoga studio stretching out, focusing on myself and letting go of like 41 years of stress and fear, Gary. So I will tell you that it can be done. Now, I'm thin, and I'm going to be thin no matter what I eat. But I'm talking about the underlying stuff of self-love, caring for the temple. You know? That's what we're talking about. It's honoring life and loving yourself and being the man you've always dreamed of being for yourself. Like having a really, really good relationship with you. You know? How is your relationship with yourself?
I guess well, it sounds bad. It's kind of, I guess it kind of sucks.
Oh,
my
really?
wife always makes fun of me, saying I have no friends. You know, I'm at the office today. It's Sunday. I was at the office yesterday, so I'm always here. Whereas actually, my wife's got friends out the wazoo. As a matter of fact, today and yesterday, she was up in Wisconsin with about 6 or 7 of her girlfriends. So we're kind of polar opposites, where I'm more of a loner and she's more of a social butterfly. And I'm always thinking about how to make money.
Oh, you're trapped in the game, brah. Guess what?
Yeah.
That's another thing that I can totally relate to. And that's where we come back to that faith and quality of lifestyle as well. I totally get it. Men, we get like that. We're like, I don't know if you got kids or what, but you got a wife, you got a house, you're like tripping. You're always like, and that was one of the things too that I'm addressing in my life right now is, you know, trying to keep up with it all, because you don't want to fall back. And so that's a fear that a lot of men have, because we're generally the breadwinners. And so I totally dig it. Now, I don't know what to say about how to master that, except for the cultivation of faith, that if we give our best gift, if we love ourselves, if we love others, and if you know, like Gary, here's something that I want you to think about that might really help. You're in the insurance industry, and you know, it's cool, but it ain't as cool as you'd like it to be. But if you do what I'm doing right now, which is going back, instead of, like I said this on a video before, like I'm half about earning an income for myself and my family and paying my bills, and I'm half about service. And this part of it brings me like the part of the making money and making sure that the bills get paid is kind of like, that's where the fear comes in. Well, what if I don't? What if I take a few days off and just go to the beach and don't make a video and don't write an email and don't do a couple of phone consults, you know? Then I get a little bit fearful. But I go over here and I say, just call this, just try to do one phone consult per day, call this guy, and, you know, like, go service. So I'm moving more towards the service, and I say, hey, I got a gift to give. I'm going to give that gift, and if God wants me to give that gift, like he wants you to give your gift, then God's going to put the money underneath you as a foundation to pay the phone bill, to pay for the computer, to pay for all the little things, and to pay your child support, so you can you pay all the bills so that you can have a foundation with which to serve, you know? And so if we have faith that, and God wants us to, if God wants me to make videos and help people, then he better make sure that the phone bill gets paid, because if it doesn't, there's going to be no phone, and there ain't going to be no phone consults, and helping people and texting them and saying, hey, just eat some, you know, eat more raw foods, blah, blah, blah. So I'm moving more towards service consciousness, and that is lifting the weight. And I'm like, hey, and I say, so that's what I want to say to you today is start planting that seed in your mind of serving people and giving your gifts. And that might make some of that fun and enjoyment come back into your life.
Yeah.
Is that...
going back to the colonics,
okay.
Do you know where I could go look to view? Because I looked before, and the people that do it for you, the prices are, you know, if I wanted to make it part of my lifestyle, I probably would have to get a second job, because, you know, they're charging like $100 a colonic.
Uh-huh.
And then I looked at the machines, and I saw some of the machines, and they were like $3,000-$4,000.
Yes. Well, I make one for 50, but okay. Maybe I should make a video on that. But it's I don't want to put the colonic businesses out of sale, because it's really helpful for the first several to have somebody there, a professional, until you learn how to massage your thing. But you know, you can find them for 80, but you're right, they're expensive. You can also get a package. But the thing is you only need like a series of 6, like one a week for 6 weeks. You know, it's not a constant lifestyle thing. It's a jump starter. So, you know, a lot of people, I'll say, get 3 due to economic purposes, but it's ideal to get like 6.
Okay.
Once a week, for 6 weeks, while you're beginning the raw foods, while you're starting the enzymes and probiotics, and flushing out the system, getting that. What you're doing is you're using high water, like juices and high water foods, fruits and vegetables, high water leafy greens that have minerals that alkalinize and break up the junk. And the water, because you cook the water out of the rice, you cook the water out of the beans. There's no fiber or water. There's a little bit of water, but there's no fiber and a little bit of water in meat. But either way, I mean, but the water is the delivery mechanism for the nutrients. And when you cook everything, you just cook the water right out of it into the sky. And then so you get dehydrated. So when you start drinking the raw juices and drinking the tea and eating the fruits, you start to break up the junk, and that starts to go down into the colon, and then that starts cleaning the small intestine with that beautiful living fiber. But then it goes into the large intestine, where when you fill the large intestine up with water, it expands, opens up where there's all these pockets and cracks and divulets, and you bring in pure water into that place, and you start washing away all the acid residues. The colon has nerves that run straight up into the brain, and so your stomach is like a subconscious land of you know, it's either you're either clean and you're clear, or you're dirty and you're confused, you know? And so the clarity that can come from a few colonics is pretty amazing for most people. And you clean off those nerve endings of all that acid waste, and it gets the system flowing, and it helps. A lot of people are constipated. They think, I pooped yesterday. And it's like, well, I poop 2, 3, 4 times a day, you know? Every time I eat or drink something, I poop. And that's how it should be. If I drink some coconut water, I go to the bathroom. If I eat some dragon fruit, I go to the bathroom. You know, if I eat a pineapple, I go to the bathroom. You know, and that's how it should be. So we should be pooping 2 to 4 times per day. But most people poop once in the morning after a shot of coffee, and that's not good bowel function at all. And so if anyone's interested in, you know, the teas help to cleanse the bowels, the fruits and the herbs help to clean the bowels. And if you want, Gary, write this down. I know I'm hammering you with stuff, but I'm just kind of giving you the whole. It's like the Get Started DTM lifestyle accelerator. But there's also the Pura Cleanse from Pure to cleanse the. That was the in case the sound was weird. That was the Pura Cleanse from Puradyme as well. Is an amazing bowel cleanser. And you take that with some water or orange juice. So you can have first thing in the morning, you have some water, because this is the nature of your question. It only took us 50 minutes to get here. Water in the morning, 16 to I drink 32 ounces, and then I don't really drink that much water for the rest of the day unless I go to the spring and I camel up. But I drink a lot of coconuts and eat fruit, and I don't have salt in my diet right now, and I eat all high water foods. So, but I drink 32 ounces in the morning of water. And next is some tea. You can either have it made as an iced tea in the fridge if it's hot, or you can make a nice warm tea. You boil the water, you throw the tea in it, and then you just let it sit for about an hour, and you can drink it. About 30 minutes later, it'll still be hot, and about an hour later, it'll be warm. But you know, for me, I drink anywhere from 16 to 32 ounces. Like last night.
You put it in, because you said don't put it in anything plastic.
I use mason jars. I drank a 32-ounce mason jar of Tranquility tea last night. I was doing 2 hours worth of research on the Tranquility tea, which comes from the herb garden here. And it's like, helps you to calm down. That's the second part of the program, which I'm designing a tea talks right now, but I'll let everyone know about that like next week or so. It's a tea talks program. It's really cool. And so I drank 32 ounces of nice hot Tranquility tea last night in a 32-ounce mason jar. But the reason why I say the love potion and the endurance powder is because I want you to start feeling the power of your hormones getting rebalanced as you eliminate all the xenoestrogens from plastics and pesticides and tofu, and move your way into like, hey, this ashwagandha powder with these other adaptogenic herbs in this formula, you can start to really feel it working right away. Okay, and then you can have, that's kind of complicated. I try to simplify it, but all these things are so beneficial. But water, tea, and then you can have the Pura Cleanse with some orange or grapefruit juice or apple juice. Orange is the best. The Pura Cleanse. And so when a great time to take the enzymes is with your water or with the tea, the Pura Cleanse, the Purazyme.
Okay.
Then the Pura Cleanse is your next. You can do that with. I just take a spoonful of it, but it's really good with the OJ, you know, and the OJ cleans you out. And then you can have either for lunch, you know, so you've got a liquid morning. See what happened? Water, tea, Pura Cleanse, liquid morning. You don't have time to eat. So what you did is you just hydrated and flushed your whole system. Now it's noon. You've been busy at the office or whatever. You've earned yourself a little bit of food. Now you can have either a salad or a smoothie.
Okay.
And that'll be around 12 or 1 o'clock, whenever your lunch break is, you know? So you're on a liquid diet, you're not even eating anything until noon. And then you then you take if you've got the Lifezyme and you can afford that, and you want to take 10 of those enzymes to help the salad digest better, you've got a nice salad or smoothie, you know? And if you do the smoothie, that's when you can throw some of the endurance powder in there, so you're kind of doubling up. And you probably want to just start with a teaspoon. I'm kind of hardcore. I came here and I started eating like a tablespoon of it, you know, and it was a little bit too much, but now I have a half a teaspoon a day of the endurance powder, and it's perfect. And then you can throw the endurance powder in your smoothie. I would recommend for weight loss, Gary, that you do a smoothie with bananas and spinach and coconut water or just plain water. Another thing you can do with the teas is use the teas as a base for your smoothie, but I'll make a video about that later. God, I got so many videos to make. Anyways, just make a smoothie, whatever you like, but simplify it. Keep it simple. Don't mix too many things. Like banana, spinach, and water with a little bit of endurance powder is all you need. Real simple. And if you go with the smoothie power, then you're going to lose more weight than if you go with the salad.
Oh.
So you might want to stick with the smoothie program, and then drink a nice 32 ounces of smoothie with like 3 or 4 bananas, and then you'll be good to go until 5 or 6 o'clock dinner time, which is where you have your bigger meal of the day. And that whole day is like a liquid day. This is like pretty intense, Gary, but I'm just laying it out for the optimum because, you know, you asked for a program, and I'm just making this up off the top of my head out of all my years of experience and working with you individually. And then you look forward to that evening meal. Then you love that food. And the emotional stuff, you're just going to have to deal with that throughout the day, because when you go raw, you're going to deal with your emotions. And that's the beauty of it, because it's those emotions and the thoughts that trigger them that need to be dealt with at the subconscious levels. And so basically you need to walk through the fire of everything that's in you, and you have to deal with this stuff. You have to deal with your job, you have to deal with your fears around money, and you got to deal with your hormones, you got to deal with your food trip. You got to deal with yourself, and you got to be brave and strong and courageous. That's why it's not just a diet program, because none of that crap ever works, because no one ever looks at the spiritual aspects of it and gets to the root of the issue. And that's what we're doing here. Is you have to face yourself. You have to face your demons. You have to face your shadow and be brave enough to love yourself through that process. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I thought so, Gary. I didn't mean to say that condescendingly, but I just want to make sure that it's important. It's like all this diet crap out there. It's like blah, blah, blah. It's all linear, and I have that linear stuff too. Have this and drink that. But you have to do the underlying work. That's the foundation. It's self-love. It's awareness. It's waking up. It's being brave enough, courageous enough, strong enough, and faithful enough to wake up. And it's so much easier to stay asleep. I know I've been doing the work for years. I don't wish. I wouldn't. Now that I'm where I'm at, I'm glad I went through it all, because every day gets better and better and better, because you get through the bulk of the demons and you're like, you know what? I'm not ugly, and I'm not stupid, and I am worthy of making abundance, and I am a good person, and my intentions are good. You're like, hey, I'm actually a really good person. You start to really care for yourself. And you're like, you're not adding to my life, you're next, you know? You're like negative, you're getting blocked, you know? Like, I don't want to spend time with you because you're just not you're not like a ripe fruit in my life that's bringing me energy and health and joy. So you start like loving yourself enough to get rid of that which is no longer serving you at the highest levels of love and service. And that's what I'm talking about. So Gary, with the, you can look, you know what, Gary, you might want to get life-saving salads and dressings.
Life-saving?
I'm not sure if there's any of those left. but Life Saving Salads and Dressings DVD. That's going to give you some low-fat dressings. There's also low-fat raw vegan recipes for energy and weight loss. Go to my website, look at my DVDs, pick a couple out, and watch those when you have time, and get those downloads and get those recipes and write them down and be like, I want to try that recipe, the coconut almond basil avocado garlic sea salt lemon dressing over the, you can pour that over the top and drown your salads in these nutrient dense dressings.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of the raw food dressings that I make, is like, oh, you want to pour like, you want like a little bit of greens mixed with your salad dressing, you know what I mean? People are like, oh, I can only use like 2 tablespoons of ranch. Well, that's because it's toxic poison and it makes you fat and it's bad for your skin and it's toxic. Right. But if you have the dressings that I have, there's pure food and medicine, and you just can drown it and have such a wonderful time, and you know that you're doing good things for yourself by eating those raw salads. And then, Gary, you're going to want to move in the direction of apples, oranges, grapes, watermelons as time progresses. But right now, the little program we laid out for you, and you can watch this video, it's going to be a 2-part series on YouTube.
Okay.
And I'll put that up today. It's your program, you know? Designed just for you, Gary, and anyone else that wants to take that knowledge. It's very similar to my other stuff. It's like staying very light during the day to get all the work done and do the inner work, and then at night, a nice nutrient-dense salad to calm you down, give you the nutrients that you need to wake up the next day and do it all over again.
All right.
Cool, man.
And when I lose that 100 pounds, I'll be running out there on the beach by you.
That's right, Gary, and you will lose that 100 pounds because you can do it, and you're still young. You're still a kid, man. In my book, the world I live in, you're midlife, bro. You're in the middle.
Yeah.
Because we should be living to be 120 years, raw food, healthy, happy, siring children in our 80s if we want to. But that's why we can't let this world and all their toxic crap and chemicals and negative food and advertising get us down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we're getting back to nature. DTM videos are going to be a huge step in that direction. I believe in this work. I've seen the miracles in my life and many others. Share this video series with your family and friends. The crazy skinny guy in the tropics who doesn't wear a shirt, but he's talking some serious game. And if you clean yourself out, you'll get clear, your heart will brighten up, and eventually, my friend, we will earn the greatest reward of all, and that is the halo. That is the crown of life. When these 2 glands in your brain are fed nutritively and all these other glands in your body are lit up and they're working and they're producing the hormones and the steroids and the neurotransmitters that give you life, and you've got enough minerals in your body in a balanced way to create electricity and synergy, then your mind will begin to awaken and receive knowledge of a more divine order. You will be guided and directed perfectly upon your path to the path of peace and love and joy that arises from living in harmony with the laws of nature and the laws of consciousness. Can I get an amen?
All right. Amen. One last question.
Yes, sir.
What type of bird is that on your shoulder?
I don't understand the question.
There's a bird in the background.
Oh, you hear the birds?
Yeah.
You should have heard them this morning.
You're just sitting outside?
Oh yeah, I'm at the office right now, and and there's a herb garden behind me, and coconut trees, and lemon trees, and guava trees, and macadamia nut trees, and papayas, and fresh air.
I had a bird right like in a bird cage or something.
No, just no birds in the cage around here. They're all flying free. A lot of chickens and birds and.
Yeah, I heard some chickens earlier. Yeah.
Yep, they're here, and this is.
Well, that's cool.
You'll see the video, Gary, and you'll see my office. It's a great office. I got to go now and have a lot of fun today and play. Everyone, go play, eat right, and play.
Thank you for taking your time out today to help me.
Thank you, Gary, for being so open and willing and patient with me. I really hope that this video blesses your life, that this consultation blesses your life, and that a year from now, you call me up and you say, hey, DTM, I lost 100 pounds. I feel great. Thank you. And I'll say, right on, bro. Thank you.
All right. All right. I'll be letting you know when I drop that 100.
Okay. It'll take
Okay?
you, at best case scenario, you could do it in 6 months. The nice, easy, smooth, fun way, it'll take you about a year.
All right.
Self-love, baby.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
You bet, Gary. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate you very much. It started out a little slow, but we got into the meat, the avocado meat, the coconut meat of the video, and I really had a good time with this. What a great sport. And yeah, I really hope that you're just blessed by that which is coming through here, because it's real. This stuff is real. Everything I talked about, it can make huge strides in your life. I can't explain exactly to you exactly what you need to do, but just the general basic stuff that was coming through as an overall generalization is going to really move you forward. So get alkalized, get hydrated, detoxify your body, treat it like a temple, love yourself like fire, be your own best friend, and really enjoy this life. It is a gift. Challenging? Sometimes, of course, but it is a gift. Thank you so much. Peace be with you. May you earn the crown of the glory of life. And so it is.